let's get to our first previously unaired interview of the week. This one features New York's own Anne Hathaway. She was here promoting her Prime Video film, The Idea of You, and she basically shared a love letter to the Big Apple. Take a look. But you grew up in Brooklyn, right? In New Jersey?
Yeah.
So was it growing up here? Because I have my kids here, they're 7 and 9, and it's such a cool city to have kids in. There's so much to do, there's so much access and opportunity for them to like be exposed to such, I don't know, different cultural things than I was in Texas growing up. So what was that like growing up here?
So I was born in Brooklyn, and then we moved to New Jersey when I was about 6, and it was great. New Jersey is a fantastic place to grow up, especially if you're ambitious and want to get back to New York.
There are so many amazing people from Jersey.
Somebody knows what I'm talking about in here. And I grew up, the street that I grew up on, the train tracks were at the bottom of it, so you could hear the Midtown Direct going by every night. And if you went to the top of my street, which at a certain point it went up on a hill, you could see the lights of New York. So I was like living inside of a Bruce Springsteen song.
I was like, wow, that's like a perfect place for a dreamer.
And so I was just sitting there like, how do I get back? How do I get back? And I was really lucky because growing up, my mom, is an actress. Yeah. My dad loves the theater. He's a lawyer. And we would come in and I don't know if they still have it, but they had this thing called the TKTS booth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go get like a
$10 ticket. It was amazing. You'd have to like look around a pillar. Yeah. You get to see a Broadway show.
Yeah.
So we would do that. We would take the train in and we would get the cheapest Broadway ticket we could find.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. There were museums. It was wonderful. I'm talking too much.
No, it reminds me of something that happened when I was a kid. We took this trip and I was on scholarship. Obviously, I was poor, but like we went to Europe and they were like, oh, we're gonna go see an opera. And it was like, you could tell our teachers went to whatever version of that booth existed there. Because we all watched the opera like this. It was like, this is amazing.
Life-changing.
Like, can you hear her? Can you believe this? It was like, we made such fun of it, but it was still so cool to be in the room.
Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And you just, everything.
It's so inspiring.
It was so inspiring. Yeah. And I remember one day, I was like 8, and we got in our tickets, and we were walking like around looking at all the theaters. Yeah. And Faith Prince was walking towards us, and I think she was in Guys and Dolls at the time. Yeah. And it was just like, I can't explain what it did to me. I just felt like I'd been, I don't know, struck by a bolt of lightning, because this amazing talent that I admired so much, I was like watching her walk down the street like any New Yorker. Yeah. And I just like, I don't know, I somehow kept it together and didn't run up to her.
It's an incredible thing to feel.
Amazing. And that's the thing I love about living here now, is that like what it takes to raise an eyebrow in New York.
Yeah. You know what, I'm so easy like to play. I love to be entertained, so I'm like down for the ride, but I think it's incredible, this city. Like, you grew up near here, but like, to walk around and see the names that are on like just stage on a Wednesday night you can catch, it's just like insane to me, the level of talent in this town. Yeah. That you're not even seeing, like sometimes,
like Kelly Clarkson.
When you're, totally. That's what I meant. That's what I meant. I will have to say though, we agreed, I was watching and I saw Barbra Streisand and her speech. And I am obsessed with her in general, but like, I saw your face, they cut to you, and you looked like me watching like, at home. Like, I was like, she's incredible.
Didn't everybody look like us?
Yeah, but I just—
Isn't that the reaction you have when Barbra Streisand is there in
when
front
you
of
have ears and eyes and a soul, yes.
And a heart, and there's just something about getting to see her clips package.
Except the montage gets you
that montage, and the thing about it is, and I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but there's so much going on, so much of it's confusing. There's so many new things. The phone, I think we're all navigating how that's changed our lives. Yeah. And I think, and there's just genuinely terrifying things going on. Yeah. And so I feel
like— And we go from one to the next. Do you feel like
that?
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think that sometimes there's a tendency maybe to numb a little bit just to get through it.
Yeah, compartmentalize a bit, yeah.
And then you see Barbra Streisand on screen, and she is giving everything she had. She is giving every last piece of her soul, her imagination, her heart, her unbelievable talent. She cares so much. And she's so not ironic about caring. She's not like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. She cares about caring. She's so genuine about it. And I'm kind of earnest in that way too. Yeah. And so just seeing someone as accomplished as she is, the legend that she is, realizing we're here at the same time, it got me. It just absolutely got me.
And for females, like how cool and powerful she was, like looking up to her and like being a director, being a producer, doing all those things, like, and putting your hands in all the cookie jars, and that was a possibility. You know, I feel like especially girls in the South, we didn't there wasn't a lot of that representation going on, so it was nice to see that growing up.
I think about that a lot, about the inheritance of dreams. You know, the idea that Barbra... like,
you should write that book.
The Inheritance of Dreams by me.
I would buy it. I would read it.
Oh God, that's better than my last title I came up with.
Lives.
The last one I was like exploring sadness. No, Inheritance of Dreams is so much better.
Exploring
I know I can't
sadness.
say that title in this suit. That's ridiculous. But but in my life, shush. No, it was a bad day. But but now we're back to Inheritance of Dreams.
That's so funny. It just I'm random this interview, but no, in therapy, my therapist literally was like, you have to read fiction. If you read one more like exploring like helpful book on how to be a better version of yourself.
Stop helping
cutting
yourself.
you off.
So I was working on The Intern with Nancy Meyers. Who
I love The Intern.
I love that movie so much. Thank
Nancy
you
Meyers.
so much. And she
such a great movie. Yeah.
And one day I was sitting there and I was reading a very serious book a very sad book by a Scandinavian author. And she came up to me in between takes and she's like, Annie, maybe read Bossy Pants by Tina Fey. Maybe like, just kind of like maybe that's a little bit more where we are.
Yeah.
Like be existential on
Where
another.
are you escaping to?
Yes, exactly. And she was right. Bossy Pants is fabulous.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love Tina Fey. She's hilarious. I have to show this picture. You were sent this cake, and I just love it. It's such a great line.
I'm dressed like that cake.
You were inspired by.
I'm so.
Do you get? Is there like a line? Like, because for me, it's not even me. It's Steve Carell shouting my name is what I get the most. It's not even anything I did. But what is like something you get the most? You feel like is that something like from Devil Wears Prada, like a certain line?
Definitely that. I feel like people come up. They call me Emily.
Yeah. Oh, just so you know, anytime like my sister like is done, I'm like you're the greatest Emily I've ever. Like I always reference that. I think we all do. Yeah.
And then I hear quotes about it, but so people.
One stomach flew away from the perfect weight.
Yes.
It's a solid one.
Glacial Pace.
Glacial Pace. That's one of my favorites. It's such a great movie. I just love that someone sent you a cake like that. That's amazing.
Oh, it was a good cake too.
Yeah. I have to say, this is reminding me of when I like played the piano and as a kid on my little Casio. It was like a little tiny keys. Great job doing God's work, Jason. We are back while our staff is over at 30 Rock getting us ready for our season 6 premiere 1 week from today. Jason and I are actually digging into our daily lunch special. We're here, and these are all surprises for me too. Yes, you're welcome. We're here at New York's iconic Tom's restaurant. This week we're doing something special, unveiling interviews from last season that we couldn't quite fit into our original shows. Back in April, our team made one of my dreams come true, bringing Ann and Nancy Wilson of Heart to the show for an hour of songs and stories. Of course, they had more songs and more stories than we can fit into 1 hour, so today I get to show you a bit more. Like the two of them sharing a memory of their very first performance. It was at their church, and well, let's just say it wasn't exactly received well. So 50 years of Heart, this is crazy. Do you remember your very first performance together?
Was it at the Congregational Church?
Well, I think it was at the Bellevue First Congregational Church.
Yeah.
On Youth Sunday.
Our parents' church.
Church.
My first performances were at church.
And there was always a Youth Sunday, there was a youth group, and there were like, camps. We did camps and stuff at the church with the church group.
Yeah.
But we thought it would be cool and funny to be represent the youth of the day and be doing like cool folk music, like the Doors.
Yeah.
In church on Sunday.
We thought the Doors were folk music, so we went up and sang "When the Music's Over."
And in the song it goes
at church.
Cancel my
church,
subscription to the resurrection.
Oh my God.
Real nice choice.
I thought I slid in a Celine Dion number at my church. I was like, there's a song called Call the Man, and it's about God. And I was like, I had no idea what it was really about, but I didn't think it was, but I slid in a contemporary song at church too. Yeah. I like the hymns. I like, even Christian music I grew up on as well. But there's something about like God creating love and passion passion and all these things that we get to sing about and you feel. But that was probably a bad choice.
Yeah, in fact,
cancel the Resurrection Day. How did it go over, Nancy?
Well, I'll hand it over to you.
The outcome was that half the congregation got up and walked out. The other half stayed, right?
Yeah.
And the church was never the same again.
Oh my God.
It became a much more progressive church after that.
Oh my gosh, that's dramatic.
Yes.
Half of them walked out.
Yeah.
I'm so sarcastic. I would have been like, bye, like, on their way out. There's such incredible musicianship on your records, and it's almost like radio in the world doesn't allow that now on the records. It's like those beautiful interludes or the musical interludes or the intros or the guitar solos. It's just such a beautiful time for musicians, and I feel like we've lost that a bit.
You know, the 70s, we came out of the late 70s, which came after the 60s, right?
Yeah.
Which was very mind expanded. And so there was a lot of attention to, you know, long departures, musical departures and landscapes.
Yeah.
Musical landscapes.
But every song was such an epic story that that's what made it so beautiful and like a piece of art.
Those
like
bands like Yes and Heart, you know, and Rush and those kind of, they would tell.
The Eagles, everybody had it. Yeah.
The tales of great Ulysses, you know, and stuff like that.
I know. I want us to get back to that because it's such a beautiful thing that I feel like we're always like, quick is better, and like
it's
I
like
just
you're
want it fast.
scrolling.
Yeah, it's like you're scrolling through music, and remember, like I used to get the booklets and the vinyl and like read the notes and
get all the artwork.
Yeah, and you go through the whole record like a story. I really miss that. I sound old, whatever. I don't care.
Thanks for the vinyl in the gift bag, by the way.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
Oh my God.
So I knew that you like Zeppelin, right? So I did Robert Plant, Alison Krauss. I don't know if you've heard their records, but they're really good.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raise
They're
the
so
Roof.
good. Raising Sand is good too.
And Raising Sand. I wore that out about 5
me too.
times. We've always sing to that.
Oh my God. Love Letter. There's so many good ones. Gone, Gone. Yeah, there's so many great ones on that one. Anyway, so I heard that you call singing opening of the soul. What do you mean by that?
I think that, for me anyway, it doesn't really come to its full beauty until what's in your soul allows it to.
Yeah.
I mean, you can have your throat in perfect shape and you can have all the mechanisms right, you know, but unless you really feel it and you want to open like a flower and let it come, it'll never be full. It's full thing.
Did you have a moment? Did you have a moment like that as a vocalist? Like I had a moment as a vocalist. I think I was like 18 years old, and I was so trained because I did like opera, and it was you had to be so perfect, and I hated it. And anyway, but I had this one song that I was singing, and it was Queen of the Night, and I was in a studio making a demo, and I felt like my voice. I finally like it was me singing instead of trying to be perfect at everything.
Something
it felt
opened,
like it felt like a door opened to like who I was. Did you have that moment as singers?
That's beautiful. Yeah.
Do you remember it?
Well, it's happened a few different times on different levels.
Yeah, true.
But I think that the first time probably was when we first started rehearsing. I first got into a regular loud rock band, you know?
Yeah.
And we were trying to learn some Led Zeppelin stuff, and none of the men in the band could reach the notes, and so it went to
You were
me.
like, here I am.
Yeah.
It's like,
bring it on.
yeah,
But,
watch me shine.
but I think there were a couple of moments in that day that were, you know, pretty amazing, where all of a sudden it just kind of came.
Yeah, it's like
and
the
I didn't
moment
know where it was coming from.
Yes. It's good. Man, speaking of Led Zeppelin, I know I told you this last time you were here, but like the Kennedy Center honors, I am not kidding. I am like 1 million of those views. I watch it so much, like the Stairway to Heaven. It was literally the best thing I've ever seen at the Kennedy Center honors when y'all honored Led Zeppelin. It was incredible. I'll move on, but it's amazing. You should look it up, and if you haven't seen it, shame on you. This summer, Anne revealed a recent cancer diagnosis and postponed Heart's tour. She's staying positive, saying that she still has more to sing. We don't doubt it, Anne, and we are sending you good vibes while you recover. We love you so much.